Well, I got myself a boring Peugeot here with rusty chainstays, low end. I don't think so. It's a Peugeot Super Competition with Reynolds tubing, 531, and the forks, and it's got nice Mafat Competition gold brakes, and it has cool Hooray, I think Success derailleurs with that nice TA crankset, which does not suit around here because it's very hilly, and that is not really good for this area, but that's not a big deal. Super Competition is one of my favourite bikes of this era. They used to come in Vitas 181 or Reynolds tubings. This one is the latter, and I like it. It's a cool bike. It's not the perfect spec for me. These Wyman brake levers are not particularly nice. I'd like to get rid of them. The Bellary stem and handlebars, okay. Saddle's alright. It's one of these Challenge Pro ones. And SR seat post, and I don't know whether you can see that this front wheel is definitely not original. You see it's got a large flange Normandy hub on it, a Super Champion rim. This rear one is the original, I think, a Mallard and Mavic MA2 rim. Clinches they are. I wouldn't mind putting on tubulars to make it even lighter. Cool bike. The question is whether or not I can get this this rust off. I think some of it may come off. Right here is the worst, as you can see. I'm not sure whether or not it's possible to really, rid it of this ugly brown colour, but I'll do my best with it and see what happens. And I like to restore this as best I can because I really like this bike. Super Competition. I've been looking for one for a while and I got it pretty cheap. So I would prefer the Simplex SJ derailleur set, but the Hooray one is alright. I mean, I like it, it's good, it's lightweight. So yeah, let's see how it goes with the restoration with this one. So I've begun removing the rust, which has been on the paint for a long time. It seems maybe more than a decade, I imagine. And you can see it's better than it was, but there are parts of it I just can't really remove. Around like this section here was a lot worse, I think, than before, but you can see these black areas, these black dots are just parts that you just can't do anything about. And in the end, it's either it's a choice of either you take off the paint or you keep some of this brown rust with it. And because I don't want to remove the paint, really, I don't want to repaint this frame. I just have to make do and accept that this paintwork is as good as it gets for now. I haven't polished it yet. I'd like to polish it up. I haven't done all of this as well. I haven't done the forks yet. The down tube is actually not bad. The bottom bracket is pretty bad. I need to work on that more. And the chainstays are okay, but it's a start. It looks better already. And maybe with more work and polish you can improve a little bit more. So all I'm using here is very fine grade steel wool, soap and water, which is warm, and WD-40, and I find that really, I don't think there's a better solution to the problem of trying to remove rust out of the frame than these three things. And like here, you know, the WD-40 provides like a film which you can work with the very fine grade steel wool, and then soap and water, constantly adding that and just going over without taking off the actual paintwork itself. And in this case it's pretty difficult because you know, it's so deeply ingrained that it's very easy to actually, there you can see there, you take off the paint. So what can you do? Just make the best of it. The times on this frame that I think it's sometimes better to do it up and down rather than horizontally. I think it works better doing it that way. And just keep doing it lightly, and you know, nothing much more to do than that. If anyone's got any suggestions, but this is what I'm using, this very fine grade steel wool. So it's come along all right. I've taken off many of the parts so I can get to the paintwork in a better way. And I've done one part of the chrome fork. Here, the one on the left is being cleaned up. The one on the right is still as it was. You see the difference between both. It's much better, but there's parts of it I still can't completely clean up because these black spots are just embedded in the chrome. I can't get them out, but it looks far superior to the way it was. You got to balance that, because if you do it too much you'll end up scratching the chrome or even taking off the plating. So I'll do the next part of that chrome fork, and then I have to do this section, which is pretty bad, probably the worst part of the whole frame set. And I've worked out it's probably 1982 or 83. The pedals on it, the Speedo pedals, are marked 83, and it's French threading, so I believe it could have been made in 82. Difficult to say exactly right now, but I'm still doing research on that. So here it is, cleaned up without being polished. I haven't done that part yet, but as you can see it's much better than it was. But still, you know, let's be honest and say this frame has seen better days, and there's plenty of marks on it. I mean, it looks actually better when it's further away, you know, but when you get close you get to see all the marks on the paint, especially on the seat tube, which seems to be the worst with the chainstays. Down tube is better, and the top tube is about the middle. It's okay. The other side is much the same. Quite a lot there actually. I think that's pretty bad as well. And the forks are okay. So I'm a bit disappointed. I thought it would turn out a bit better, but let's see what polish does and how far I can go with this thing. So I'm going to use this car polish. This is a Holtz one. I don't know whether it's the best, but I think a good car polish does make a difference on paintwork on bikes. Not everyone may agree with that, but in my experience it does. So I'll just use a cloth and just wipe it on and wipe it off. Pretty simple. Hope it makes a difference. So here is the frame completed. Polished it up, polished the chrome forks, and polished the frame with some good quality car polish. In the sunshine it looks pretty good. from a distance, but close in you can still see. Obviously, the polish can't take out, you know, this stuff, which is just impossible to get out now. But I think it looks okay. I think much better than it was. So I'm pleased with it. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, and I'd prefer this than having to do a repaint of it. So the Super Competition has a good life on it, yeah.